Horizontal education, cultivating ideas.
Today's topic is shared leadership. Our objective is to make sure that everyone understands the rationale for investing in shared leadership and how to employ some of the key strategies to make it successful. Put more simply, we want everyone to know what shared leadership is, why they should consider using it in their schools, and how to make it successful.
Shared leadership in education is twofold. The first tenet of shared leadership is distributed leadership, which is becoming more common in the schools today. Distributed leadership spreads the overwhelming number of responsibilities typically burdening one or two administrators within a building to a wider group of people. The second critical aspect of shared leadership is shared decision making. This quite literally is making decisions that drive a school's success in conjunction with a broader team of stakeholders, including teachers and other school staff members.
All right, so we've heard what shared leadership is. Now let's think about why we should do it. Three reasons come to mind. Number one, it increases sustainability for everyone involved, starting at the top with the administrator all the way down to teachers and students involved in the system. Number two, it creates a much more higher quality product when everyone gets to put in their best ideas. Number three, it builds buy-in as multiple points of view are considered. All right, so now let's check out a couple testimonials about these three ideas.
Why invest in shared leadership? If I could say one thing to other schools and administrators, I'd tell them to invest in shared leadership because it makes the position much more sustainable. School leadership is tough. It feels like every day we're moving back and forth between putting out fires and trying to support student learning. It's an exhausting position. Shared leadership can help solve for that. When you're working with a team of educators in your school, shared leadership can help distribute some of those tasks to make the job more manageable. Having other educators at your school with that same level of buy-in that you have, that can really reaffirm the purpose of the position. And finally, being part of a team where you can work together with educators who share that same high level of perspective, it adds to the fun and to the level of collegiality. So I think shared leadership's number one reason that it should be in education is sustainability.
I remember when I first started attending our shared leadership meetings, I was so blown away by how intentional and thoughtful the whole process was. It wasn't this loose form spitballing of ideas around a table, but instead leaders in our school were bringing concrete proposals to the table to discuss as a group. Detailed outlines of information, proposed action steps, proposed solutions, and this all culminates in this moment where the whole group is able to give feedback to the proposal, and the group can ask questions as well. And what's amazing about that process is that it turns it into a richer, better, more inclusive, and more innovative product than it originally started with.
I think being at a shared leadership school allows me to see the quality of our leadership as a whole. I know that every decision that's made is coming from not just the top down, but teachers alongside me, special education team, the ELA department, and that each teacher has a voice. And so when a new initiative or a new system is rolled out, I really feel that it has been backed by many people rather than just one person. And it's way easier to get on board when you have that idea that everyone's around you is helping to make this decision rather than just one person.
Our team meets every 2 weeks formally with a systematic meeting approach, but we also have an online document. We call this the Leadership Hub, that people are required to regularly read and provide feedback in. Check out the resources below for more about our Leadership Hub and what the partnership agenda look like. It is important to note that the meeting promotes accountability and thoughtfulness through specific meeting roles, norms, and recording of action items. We also add some team building through a shared food experience, regular reflections, and sharing of personal feelings and experiences along the way as well. There are different types of decision making. We've opted to use a consensus decision-making model. We happen to use a thumb-based system. If you agree, thumbs up. If you can live with it and support it, thumb sideways. And if you cannot support it, then down. Our team will only move forward with something if we have 100% up or sideways. People who vote down are also required to initiate a dialogue around why they cannot support the idea. Having healthy norms for collaboration has helped support these tough but oftentimes difficult conversations. One of our meeting steps is to reflect on our mission, vision, and values as a school. As a group, we constantly consider what is working and what might be an area of growth.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with our strategic vision progress check. You would like to identify a strength?
You kind of took the words out of my mouth, and I would add to that there's a lot of planning going on among behavior teams for next year, and like how to prep and transition with behavior plans. Anna and Asia have come up with a really kick-ass like elementary behavior plan 3.0 that we've been like stewing on for the past couple weeks. So it's just cool that like it's the end of the year, there's a lot going on, and those key stakeholders are really planning for next year.
In order to run an organization with many people behind the steering wheel, it's necessary to have documents with lots of access to many stakeholders and a commitment to constantly update them. We have all probably created some agenda or other document only to have it never looked at again. We have several documents in this case that require consistent and constant updating. Some of them have already been mentioned earlier, like our leadership hub or our meeting agendas. But others are also included down below, like our clear organization chart, staff newsletter, our distributed coaching arrangement. We have learned that the more you can record in a proactive manner the plan for something, the better it will be in execution. This work is easier when you have a team of 10 professionals trying to accomplish it instead of 2 people's free time. We've talked a lot about the what and how and why of shared leadership. There's a couple other things I didn't want to forget to mention that are really key to implementing this idea. Number 1, trust. Everybody must be ready to trust in a shared leadership system. You're sharing accountability. You must have a we are all in this together mentality and be able to lean on the people around you for that to happen. Second, we've talked about some systems and clear documents, and it can't be said enough. You can never write or reflect on a system too much. Leverage the power of a group to do this work so that one person doesn't lose all their holidays and weekends to it. Number 3, the focus must be on proactive development of ideas. Successful leadership operates from a place of predictive work, not reactive. Using a team-based approach, you can get ahead of that game and be there for your students in the way they need you to be there for them.